Coming off an incredible game against the Minnesota Vikings in a battle of the NFC, the first half, for the most part, was all ours, though we started to give it up a little bit more in that second quarter. Third quarter was our worst, but we came ready. In the fourth quarter, with an amazing finish to Laviska Shenault Jr. on the very last play of the game, broke the tackles, spun away, stayed on his feet, and ran it for the win. A near opposite of the Minneapolis Miracle, a miracle in Minneapolis, as we would have one of our best games with Bryce Young, 444 total passing yards with 3 touchdowns. He missed some, but he still hit big on quite a bit. And that big play of his has earned him a breakout opportunity, a chance to make him a X-Factor quarterback. He's already the superstar. We just need to see if he can continue to have big games, especially coming back from his injury. So in this game, we're going to have to throw 1 or fewer interceptions and have 400 scrimmage yards or 4 total touchdowns. It'd probably be easier with the touchdowns. Yards, though, scrimmage yards. So to me, that means it could be both passing and running. Hopefully, we get the job done today. But of course, it's not going to be against an easy defense. The only thing the Commanders seemingly do well is defense, as they are an 87, 10 higher than their offense, a 77. And obviously, Jonathan Allen right down the middle. We've had trouble with good trenches. It's going to be a good trench here for the Commanders. However, though, it's not leading to great rankings. Their offense, 16th in points per game, 13th in passing, 24th in rushing. Their defense, a little bit better, or I guess more of an average, I would say. 19th in points per game, 20th in passing yards, and 18th in rushing. Sam Howell is still their quarterback. He's up to a 78 overall. As for the running back, Brian Robinson Jr., pretty solid. They do have a rookie in Quan Thomas backing him up. At the receiver spot, Terry McLaurin, always good. Jahan Dotson, he actually looked really impressive when we did our passing testing here in Madden 24. He's their number 2 now, with Richie James being their possible 3. Maybe we'll see a little bit of De'Ami Brown as well. At tight end, Tyler Higbee, pretty solid. They also have Noah Fant, so a good 1-2 punch. Now their offensive line, going with the trenches here for the offensive side, they have an 80 overall Leno Jr. at left tackle, then a 73 AJ Cann. So good, at least at the left guard spot. They have 2 different options for center. It's either going to be Ben Jones or Josh Myers. Both are 75 overall. Right guard, Sam Cosmi, a 78. So the middle is looking weaker. And then Andrew Wiley, a 77 overall at right tackle. So they don't have a super strong offensive line, but we don't have a super strong defensive line. As for their defensive line, though, they do have Fatukasi, a 74. At right end, Christian Wilkins, 88. They also have Ladarius Rivers, a rookie, and he might be pushing for playing time over Fatukasi. Over at the DT spot, obviously, we talked about Jonathan Allen. They also have Deron Payne, so 2 phenomenal guys right down the middle. We're going to have to keep our play to the outside. As for their outside linebackers, they do have Taki. He's more of an interior linebacker, so I'm assuming that they're running a 4-3, especially with their DTs. As for the other outside linebacker, Jamin Davis, 83. Down the middle, Cody Barton. So they're not a super well-developed front 7, though they do have some really good corners. Kendall Fuller, an 87. Benjamin St. Juste, 81, as well as the second-year corner in Emmanuel Forbes Jr., also an 81, though didn't have a good rookie year in real life. And they have Caleb Farley, a 76. So they have a good 4. Safety-wise, Derek Forrest, 84. They also have Curl, 87. So we're going to need to keep with that short, quick game. That's what we do best. They also have some interesting backups, too. And Jartavius Martin, a 77, and then Percy Butler, a 72. So they got some guys for the future as well. Keep the quick pass game as we normally do. Get some yards after the catch. Might have to have some scrambles from Young, but do not let him get tackled and get out of situations that force him to slide, because he doesn't. Overall, our defense shouldn't have too bad of a game. They improved last week with the changes we made. We're just going to need our offense to continue to produce against a higher rated defense than that of the Minnesota Vikings. let's get this battle underway. As Hecker boots us off, it will be set back to return, but knelt down for the Commanders. They will start back at their 25 for Sam Howell and a very mediocre offense. Though, that being said, they keep their offense pretty clean. 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions for Howell. They're not turning the ball over often. As they find a run right down the middle, it opens up. Why did Gardner Johnson dive? Who knows? But it's a big run on play 1. 41 yards to the opposite 34. And we cannot keep allowing these big chunk plays on the runs. We do well most of the time stopping the run, but we keep giving up these just big plays here and there as they bounce it once again. Contain does not contain. We're struggling to tackle Robinson on first contact. He picks up another first. Though, at least that is a known issue with this team. Tackling can be very iffy. As they spread empty, look for a pass right down the seam. It is a 3-play touchdown drive. For a 77 offense against our defense, they've got to do better. Terry McLaurin gets them on the board. And already, we're faced with a drive of which we need a good one. We start spread empty here. Young, the only one in the backfield. Look for that running back / wide receiver screen. Picking up a couple blocks. It's a really good job there from Juan Jennings. Not only did he pick up 1 block, he picked up 2. Helped spring us there for a first down. Not as big as their first play, but pretty solid. As we keep with the spread look, we have Mingo, and it's going to be a pick, and that's already the one and only we could have today. Cody Barton just drifted behind the target. It was just a throw slightly off. Expect more, though, from Mingo on that. By no means was it a good throw, but you got to not be sitting flat-footed. Either way, it's a bad start here for us as they check down and bring it in for a gain of 3. We could definitely use some turnovers of our own in this one. That is something our defense really has not done much of this entire series, as they go with the flat route out to Higbee, and he bounces off Gardner Johnson and picks up a first. We talked about it in a couple different games, but very much seeming like we do need to fire whoever is our tackling coordinator, because he's not doing his job. They continually, as we get a little bit lucky there with another drop from a superstar receiver, and our guys just continually miss tackles time and time again. We've got to cut that out, limit the extra yardage. As they go to the flat, it's going to be Brown who gets out at the 15. We've got to hold, just allow a field goal attempt here. It's 3rd and 9. First down is at the 6. As it will be a throw. Howell has 3 options to the left-hand side, though. Rolls out, finds Robinson, but a clean tackle that time from DJ Johnson. Forces the field goal. 4th and 5 at the 11. So we at least bow up a little bit here on defense, given the poor situation in which the drive started. But it will be a 2-score lead for the Commanders, 10-0. And from here on out, we need perfect from this offense. We start with a tight shotgun set. Look for some of these drags that we run fairly often, as it's a well-jumped play on the outside from Fuller. Said their cornerback group, not too bad. They got some good guys down the middle. We just got to find the soft spot in these defenses. That was not a soft spot. Taki lit us up. And already faced with a critical down here. 3rd and 8. Still back at our 27. Needing to pick this one up. Young looking to scramble. Trying to find some space, and he does not. It's a short gain of 5. 4th and 3. You got to punt. And if there were ever a time for a big play from the defense, now would be a good time. Try to spark our offense as we get a sack. 2nd of the year. I don't think it's back-to-back for Cash. Well, in fact, I know it's not back-to-back because he was out last week, so a great way to get back in. Picking up the sack, 2nd and 14, a good way to start the drive here. Just got to build upon it as they go to Robinson, who continues to push forward. He's going to be a tough one to tackle. But obviously, we got to make sure we do get the tackle. 3rd and 8. First down just past the 30. We need to get a stop here as they have everyone flooding one side. It's going to be Howell picking up the first down. That was exactly what we tried to do with Young, except clearly we didn't do it as well. They follow up that first down coming out with a heavy set, 3 tight end set, just 1 receiver. As they go, Robinson stretching to the outside. He breaks through the tacklers. Do we have anyone on the back end? It would appear no. A massive run once again puts them up 17-0. And it starts like these, which makes sense and why they were selling tickets for 45 cents. We start at the 18. It was a bad return. Need to find something here? Well, how about we find Chuba, but it's through his hands. We needed 400 scrimmage yards, 4 touchdowns, plus only 1 turnover, and clearly it's not been too hot of a start. As Young having to scramble here, he has his guy at the sideline, and it's off of Juwan Jennings' hands. Young did all he could on that one to put it where his guy could get it. Receivers just not making the play. We have once again another 3rd and long. Young scrambling to pick this one up. He takes the contact and does pick up the first. So far, that is our best play today on offense, and we're closing out the first quarter here in 1, maybe 2 plays. Get the halfback screen open, follow some blocks. Hubbard nearly broke to the outside. Safety does enough to slow him down, leaves it to a gain of 8. And we'll maybe have time for one more play here this quarter. Still staying spread, got 3 to the right-hand side. And we find Hubbard, but it's just off the mark. So we'll head into the second quarter after an abysmal start. We're down 17-0. We had 1 rushing play, 20 yards on it, 9 passing plays, 20 yards on it. Those numbers aren't good. But we can at least try to continue this drive here to start the second quarter. As we have that option to the outside, it's going to be Hubbard trying to get behind some blocks, and he picks up enough for the first down, though he does also get caught by Jonathan Allen Jerome Payne from behind. But it's at least a first down for us. Got to celebrate those as we stay spread empty. Try to get Jennings to the outside. He has the break, a decent placed ball, and we're down inside the 30. Hopefully we were just a little sleepy, and we're about to get going here. As we have a first down, press coverage across the board here. Jennings one-on-one looks covered, so let's try to tuck and run instead, and diving forward, taking a little bit of a knee to that collarbone. Luckily he bounces up. And obviously quite clearly through the first start of this game, we have not gone with many runs to Hubbard. So let's try to get him going a little bit as he picks up the first down to the 13. With the big guys down the middle, we've been hesitant to go down the middle, but we need to not be too afraid as we make a couple hot routes on the outside here, sending the slants. Hurst maybe towards that back pylon, depending on the outside corner, who drops to cover it. Young having to scramble and get rid of it. A 4 of 10 start, not ideal for a breakout opportunity for Young. But as mentioned earlier, touchdowns would probably be the easiest way to complete this goal. As we get this to the outside, it's another one through the hands of Tommy Tremble. This is really a game we need big play from our top 2 tight ends because we do not have the rookie in Jordan Thomas. He had a practice injury. We got a couple medium routes here. Need to find someone open. How about Chenault to the back corner? It gets tipped away. Well, at this point, we got to take whatever points we can get, so we'll send out Ford. He's been pretty solid for us this year, and he'll get us on the board here. 17-3. Not great, but it's at least a building point. And it's a point in which we need the defense to start making some plays. Secure the tackles. Robinson has gotten too many broken tackles, too many yards after contact, as we at least escort him out of bounds there with cash. Some sacks as well would be timely, to say the least. Some turnovers, great. Something we don't force too often, but it's a sack down the middle from the rookie in Stockton. We don't get much pass rush from just the baseline. We normally have to send extra as it's another big play right down the seam from McLaurin. Could have got off the field. We'll say we do well on about 2/3 of the plays. It's just that 1/3 that we just keep giving up as Robinson trying to find some space. He will end up getting a couple on that run. It's only been his 5th carry on the day, but already 125 yards. As they do well to draw us down and once again pop off across the middle. Stayami Brown down to 28. But we came in with a game plan. Commanders came in with a game plan. And it's safe to say so far theirs working out much better than ours. As they leak it back to the opposite side, it is a catch, gain of 3. Sam Howell near perfect to start his day, 9 of 10. It has not been a struggle for this offense. They've gotten things going quickly, or they've gotten things going downfield down the seam. But it's another opportunity for us, another third down, in which we could get off the field here if we do what we need to, and it's another third down in which we give up the play. Unfortunately for the Commanders, A.J. Can shaken up. We'll have to head off the field. All right, now this defense struggling to just make the consistent plays. Coverage hasn't even been tight in this one. That's something we typically do pretty well, as I think that's off of the back of Rodriguez's head. I'll credit that pass breakup to the right tackle. Take whatever we could get. 2nd and 10, looking for another throw. To the outside, they do get it out there, and it is brought in for a gain of 5 to the 5. And from there, both teams will have the 2-minute warning to come up with their plays. It's 3rd and 5. Essentially, touchdown or bust, and what kind of coverage was that? I have to jump into the replay here. Watch Fuller just intentionally leave McLaurin wide open. I mean, how is that? I know your brother plays on their team, but come on. And that's just some of the weird things we've had to deal with this team this year. So streaky, and it's both good streaks and bad streaks. As we need to find something here coming across the middle, we do find Jennings. Will be a gain of 6. We're inside the 2-minute warning, though, so we got to get this team moving quickly. As we're out about the 1.5-minute mark, we do have all of our timeouts. As we roll across, try to get this one over the top of the linebacker, and they say that one was brought in by Hayden Hurst. I don't know if that's accurate, but they're not challenging it. So we get out of bounds, we stop the clock. Let's snap the ball quickly here. Don't want a challenge to come in late. As we get this one out for Tommy Tremble, he actually holds on to this one and picks up the first and scampers out. It is pretty vital that we get a touchdown here before halftime. Make it just a 2-touchdown game to start the second half. That is pretty big. As we get this one to the outside, it's Chuba Hubbard, who cannot dance away from the corner, and Forbes get back out there quickly. As we stick with the same look, got 2 to the right-hand side. They back off the coverage. Though coming across is Hayden Hurst with some speed to get to the outside and sprinting all the way outside, out of bounds at the 27. Now we're just under 50 seconds left, but we still have all of our timeouts. We're down inside the 30. Chenault towards that front pylon looks promising, depending on the coverage. And he has the step, just need it placed slightly higher. That's now 2 touchdowns thrown his way, where the ball just a little bit short. 44 seconds left. Looking for the screen out to Akers. We need a block on Taki, or we get a stiff arm on him. We'll pick up 5, leaving 3rd and 5. Still have 37 seconds, though we need a first down on this play. A little bit of some play action dialed up. We don't really contain the outside, but it's a wide open play for Chenault, sprinting down to about the 6 and out of bounds. Just gotta finish off this drive positively. Knock on wood, cross your fingers, whatever you do for some good luck. As Young steps up, tries to pick up a block, he does not get it. We're down to the 1. We call our first timeout with 26 seconds. I will say, gotta give some props though to Taki. He's been flying around out there. Hard count, no one jumps. We look for the double team over on this left-hand side. Need Aquanu to have a big one. As we hand it off right down the middle, Akers just short. How many times has that been the case where it looks like a walk-in touchdown and we get tackled from behind? 3rd and goal. About 1.5 yards away. Julius Chestnut at fullback is stuffed. We call our last timeout. We've got to have the touchdown here. Field goals, they're not helping us out when we're down 24-3. Couple short route options to the outside. We barely get it out in time. And it's Jonathan Mingo pulling us back to a 2-score game right before halftime on 4th down. That hit nearly disrupted that play. You saw how wobbly the ball is, but it gets there. And we finally get our first touchdown. But at least some good there at the end. A lot to build upon in the second half. Nearly, essentially flipping the game in the second half is what we need. It's 24-10. A lot of things to clean up. We need some big plays from the defense. They got a couple in there, but they gave up too many big chunk plays. But how is the things going around the league? We got the Saints taking on the Chargers, and it's all Chargers in that one. 17-0. The Saints still winless on the season. Chargers, they are 4-2, but 140 yards from Herbert in that first half. As for the second game, it's the Cowboys taking on the Browns, and it's a close game. 7-3 headed towards halftime. The Cowboys 5-1, not pulling away from the 2-4 Browns. Watson does have a first half interception. And lastly, we have the Falcons taking on the Giants. It's a tie game going to half. Falcons 3-3, trying to get above 500, but Ritter a touchdown and an interception that first half. Meanwhile, the Giants 1-5. As for ourselves, though, we have a fantastic opportunity to start this second half with possession. We could get this thing down to a touchdown game with a clean drive, though we clearly haven't seen all too many of those. On the run, we get this one to Tommy Tremble, who turns up but can't stay in bounds, a gain of 7. Just need a clean drive. That's all we need. Just rebuild the confidence, clean play, make some things happen, as we need that pass to get him further outside a whole lot quicker. We really should not be having to worry about Daron Payne making the plays on the outside. 3rd and 2. We go with a run. Hubbard breaking nearly to the outside. A big play saving tackle there by Forbes. And he's had a couple of those in this one. But it is a first down for us. We're up to the 34. We spread wide. Got 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Needs someone to open up. How about Chenault to the outside? It's gonna get picked. That is not what we needed. It's gonna be a pick 6, and you could wave goodbye to the X Factor Dev Boost with his second interception. Had Chenault open, but the pass was well behind. And we've seen these kind of games from Young a few times this year, where the throws are just off. It's not like he's playing awfully, the throws are just not quite good enough, and we haven't gotten Chuba Hubbard going much at all today. He powers through on that one, picks up nearly the first down. As we get back out to it quickly here, needed to pick up the first down the next play, and he will do just that. But with limited time in this one, we're down 3 scores once again. We're running quickly. Need the big plays, as this one's lofted out for Chenault, and he brings it in. Finally, a good ball out to the guy who won us last week's game. And that's just the thing with Young. We know he can get the job done. He just... sometimes, I don't know if it's lack of care, lack of try, but he's just not quite doing it consistently. And that's one thing this team is desperate for, is just some consistent, solid play. That's all we need, just solid. We're not being too greedy, as it's a 3rd pick. Kyle Fuller making a heck of a play, took away the play on the outside. Unfortunately for them, Jonathan Allen is shaken up, but he took away 2 receivers on 1 coverage snap. Honestly, if there was like a difficulty slider for these breakouts, and if you have a completely awful game in a breakout opportunities chance to lose a dev, that would be insane, as it's insane the fact that we keep giving up these big plays. Horn has gotten beat several times this year. Last target, Jahan Dotson. Now with that, Steve Smith Sr. has seen enough. In his breakout opportunity, Bryce Young gets benched. Max Dugan is out there. Can he provide a little bit of spark for this offense? Well, he's providing a huge hit to our tight end. And the Commanders were not a well-ranked team going into this game, but they look absolutely phenomenal in this one, or we just look extremely bad. It's one of the two. As Max Dugan just looking to scramble here, he will get close to the first down before getting bumped out. I would just like to get a couple more touchdowns in this one. Just something positive to try to build on as we swing that one out for Hayden Hurst. It's a first down. A couple games ago, we saw Dugan get his first start, and he looked really good. He wasn't great down the field, but he's a short yardage specialist, and so far the short accuracy has been pretty solid. Only goes for a gain of 2, but I'm sure Chenault appreciates an accurately thrown ball. 2nd and 8, keeping with the spread look. Gonna step up in the pocket, deliver a pass right across the middle. It's gonna be Chenault once again with a nice juke. We're up to about midfield. Keep this offense moving here. If we're working well, we might as well just keep trying to build upon it. They're going to go with the halfback screen this time to the opposite side. Get this one out to Akers, who does not pick up a good block, though. Spins off the first guy and will pick up 5. Kind of feels like the team a little bit rejuvenated with a new quarterback out there. They're at least putting together a good effort, as Dugan is going to get dropped. Had nowhere to go in the pocket. So we pick up 5, we lose 5, leaves us with 3rd and 10 as we take under 2 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Coming across, once again, it's Chenault. He keeps finding himself open today. He just hasn't gotten many good balls. We've talked about wanting to get him more involved in the offense, and when he's gotten the opportunities, he's made some pretty big plays. As how did we get sacked on that one? Not only was it through a block, but Dugan was running the opposite way. Some pretty good arm strength, I guess, there from Wilkins. As we got a crossing route across the middle, it's going to be a fantastic block downfield from Hubbard. He took out 2 defenders to spring Chenault Jr. for the first down. Though it's around this part of the field where the offense starts to crumble. So can we not do that here? We have 2 options towards the back pylon, some underneath routes as a safety. As we end up just scrambling here with Dugan. He's going to try to get to the end zone, weave, but down at the 1. Fuller has made some impeccable plays today. Unlike our Fuller. As it's 1st and goal, we hand this one off. Chuba Hubbard can cap off the drive. Our best offensive drive has come when we brought in the practice squad quarterback. And as we head out for the next defensive possession, we are making a change at corner. Fuller is out. We're putting Isaiah Oliver back in there. See what he can do, as there's a good tackle from DJ Johnson. And that's one way to head into the 4th quarter, where we are down big, and it's been a game where it's just been consistently giving up big plays. We really haven't given up much in terms of consistent full drives where it's just dink and dunk. It's just big play after big play. And the unfortunate part from the coaching standpoint is you can't pinpoint it to one particular player. It's just been the defense as a whole. I mean, even especially this defensive line, they really have not done much at all today. No pass rush. They're not stopping the run. As for the coverage, they're not covering. They're allowing big plays. They're not getting tackles. And it's just bad. Though we figured this would be a year of rough growth from some of these guys, and a year where it was a last opportunity. And for a number of these guys, that last opportunity is not panning out all too well. Luckily, we get a little help with the penalty, makes it 2nd and 6, but it's a gaping hole down the middle and another massive rush for Robinson Jr. He's going to need an ice bath after this one. He's near 200 yards. But at least one positive thing we could take from this game is Dugan continues to do well with most of the opportunities he's been given. As we have an option coming across, there is not enough time to throw. And we might have to get pretty serious about the state of this roster and what we do moving forward, as next week it is trade deadline day. As we loft this one up, it's Juwan Jennings who has the step on Martin, and he will keep it to the end zone. We unfortunately lose Austin Corbett on the play, but we get another massive touchdown. And honestly, at this point, why even kick the extra point? Let's go for 2 here. Make it at least a 20-point game, because why not? Mingo needs the XP, and he will get a little bit of some XP on the 2-point conversion. And with play like that, I mean, it poses a serious question onto Bryce Young. How has Max Dugan come in here with the same team and put up more points than the former Heisman? Obviously, neither are getting much help from the defense in this game, but still, questions that need answers. As we try to make some plays here on defense, it is Stockton with a tackle in the backfield, keeping Robinson 2 yards away from 200 on the ground. From scrimmage, I'm pretty sure he is over 200. As they go with some play action, 3rd and 3, they dump it off, and Cash can't get there quick enough. Sam Howell has been lethal in this game. Only 2 incomplete passes, and all the throws have been on the money as we get juked out in the backfield. Luckily, we still keep it to a 1-yard gain. And that keeps Robinson Jr. still short of 200 for now. 2nd and 9, they are making a check here. Howell will hand this one off, and that will be 200 plus for Robinson Jr. 206 on 14 carries, 2 touchdowns. And that's not even counting anything he's done in the receiving game. 3rd and 3, an opportunity to get off the field, maybe. As they swing it out wide, it's going to be a quick tackle from Gardner Johnson. He hasn't had a good one today, but he helps us get a stop and one more opportunity for our offense. Or perhaps not, as on the punt return, we get smacked, ball pops loose, and the Commanders recover. Honestly, it's a pretty fitting way for this game to go. We're inside the 2-minute warning. They're down at the 23. They're looking for a hat trick for Robinson, who's getting kind of picked up, but not really. Overall, just a very disappointing game where we went off a game where we had a really good first half for the most part as Stockton. That's how you pick up Robinson. But as I was trying to say, we are coming off a game where we had a pretty good half, not in a row, but across the whole game against the Vikings. And then in this one, I can't even say we had a good half. There was just really nothing good, as it's going to be another touchdown. The Commanders drop 50 plus on us. But at least one good thing happened in this game, and that was quietly Jauan Jennings over 100 yards and a touchdown, though most of that coming off the previous drive. But yeah, just nothing real good from the state of this team right now, and going into the trade deadline week, we have to have some serious conversations. We have guys on this team who we were really hoping to be a key part of the rebuild. But with the state of how bad the roster is that a possibility, as Jauan Jennings stays in bounds for now to get bumped out, but it's another big catch for him down to the 31. Trying to end this game off of a little bit of some positivity. If Dugan can get us one more touchdown, I think that would do. As it's Chuba Hubbard right down the seam, but it doesn't stay open long enough. We take another sack. With 15 seconds left, can we find another score? We're staying spread empty. We're giving ourselves as many opportunities as possible. As we try to go down the seam, that one easily knocked away by Fuller. He's had an amazing game today. I can't really say we underestimated the defense here for the Commanders, but definitely didn't expect them to play as good as we've seen today. As once again, Jennings has space. It's a shot towards the sideline instead of down towards the end zone, but we're down first and goal, 5 seconds left. Maybe have time for a quick play. Let's see if we could get a zig here from Chuba to help open things up a little bit from Jennings. We also have Chenault on the opposite side who could go, either one of these guys could go towards the pylon. Though it's going to be for Jennings. It's a flat and it's a touchdown to end the game. Max Dugan greatly outplayed Bryce Young in Bryce Young's breakout opportunity. But ultimately, it still ends up being a massive win here for the Commanders, 52-32. And the only thing that could really be said from this game is miracle hangover? Now, obviously, we are not going to get the development boost for Bryce Young. That was just an absolutely awful showing by him. And they're saying not too harsh. No, it needs to be harsh. It was not a good game at all. Comparing the performance just between the two quarterbacks, Max Dugan, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns. He completed 78% of his throws. Bryce Young, 180 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. He only completed 59% of his throws. And the attempts, while obviously different, not too spread apart, but still, Bryce Young has got to do better. And the fact we could even run with both of these guys doesn't really give Bryce Young the edge there. I think truly we have a quarterback competition between a near 80 overall, I believe, or maybe around 77 overall quarterback and a 61 overall quarterback. And to just add more bad news onto what is already a pretty disappointing episode, we're going to be without Austin Corbett for the next few games. He's one of our best offensive linemen, and that group has already been struggling. And I can't even say, luckily, next time we have divisional play, which should be easier, because last time we played the Buccaneers, they destroyed us. They're on top of our division right now, 4-3. By no means is the division done. We're in a very weak rebuilding division just across the board. Saints are 0-6. Our best record is the Bucs 4-3. They're barely above 500. Somehow we know we have another breakout opportunity for a linebacker. I'm going to assume Stockton just because he made a couple plays, but I don't know why anyone would have any breakout opportunity from that previous game. We also have a tandem breakout for our offense. Juwan Jennings could be the only guy I could think of for the offense, or maybe even Max Dugan surprisingly had a big play. I don't know. We have breakout opportunities. I think Madden is just being courteous to us. But next episode will be week 8. We're going to have a serious conversation at the beginning about some players, maybe making some trades and trying to stockpile draft picks, or maybe bringing in some other options, because this team definitely does not have what it takes. Too many big blowout losses. So make sure you stay tuned for next time, where there's going to be a lot of restructuring, quarterback battle even. There's a whole lot of change possibly coming to this Panthers franchise, a near opposite of what we saw from when Steve Smith Sr. took over last year. We've got to make sure that they decide not to fire him. So change has got to come. They've got to be sweeping. So don't miss out. Hit that bell icon on the bottom right, or scroll down, hit the sub button. They both do the same thing. And subscribing to the channel is completely free to you, but just helps this channel grow. We're closing in on 1K subs, so I appreciate if you do enjoy that you stick around. I know a lot of people watch, but they're not subscribed, so go ahead, just hit that button. It's right down there. This series out every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Plus, you guys have the state-only challenge. Currently, Michigan, maybe every now Wednesday and Saturday. We're moving into season 5, the last and final season of which we can win a Super Bowl. That regular season and the previous offseason are coming out on Saturday. So do not miss out. A lot coming. Make sure you stick around, and hopefully someone decides to make some big plays consistently on this Panthers team. We'll find that out next time.